Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. And we are here for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 10, Episode 1. And before we get started, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and comment. Let's get into it.
I do not owe you conversation. Let's also get that clear. We don't want to hear from you. Go. She said, well, I changed my mind. And she has that right.
So, Episode 1 is titled The New Normal, and it starts off with a montage of right when COVID hit and they had to shut down production because they were in the middle of filming, and that was it. And then, they had to figure out what to do with their lives because, they're so used to being out, and that's like kind of how they make their money, being seen. And then we got videos, just them in the house doing what normal people do. But it starts off with Yandy and Mendices. I was gonna call her Yancy. Yandy is moving to Atlanta, like her family, Mendices and the children, they're moving to Atlanta. And her dad, who she has not lived in the same state with for 20 years, like I guess that's where he's been in Atlanta, so they're much closer. And they decided, or really Mendices decided to move down to the South because he feels like the South, the suburbs specifically in the South, are much safer than, I guess, any block in New York. And his sons won't get into the things that he got into as a kid and even recently. And while I can respect what he's trying to accomplish, please don't think the South is just meek and mild and like your kids can't get into nothing. Because honestly, it really doesn't matter where you move to. If your kid's going to get into some trouble, they're going to get into some trouble. It may not be the trouble that you've gotten into, but it could be something much worse or, completely different. So I get what he's trying to do, but it's almost like, don't just go down to the South and think, y'all going to have a much better life, because the South can get it cracking too. So while they're in the kitchen of their new house, you can tell they're still moving in because it's like an echo in that house. You can, she's telling her family that she's going to Kentucky because she is a part of an organization called Until Freedom. And that's with, what's her name, Tamika Mallory. And I feel a way about that because having so many of the murdered people, like their family members, come out, and the mother specifically speak out against that woman and her organization, it's just like, and she says some things too that I don't particularly agree with. And it just sounds like they take that money and she's basically using it to fund her own lifestyle. So it's just like, Yandy, this maybe you shouldn't have put her out there like that. But that's who she's in the organization with, and they're going to have a rally when they go to Kentucky because it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Rihanna being murdered by the police. So we are introduced to Young Baby Tate. I know who Young Baby Tate is because of TikTok. Her song, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. Like, that was a big song on TikTok. And she's saying, well, she starts off skating at a Cascade, and her song comes on, and she's like, that's big for my song to be playing at the Cascade. And she's surrounded by her friends, and she's like, I really want to work this. Like, I'm really trying to be a rapper. And she tells us that her mom is Dion Ferris, who, that blew me away. And I don't know why, because it's just like, of course, artists are going to have children who, sometimes turn out as artists as well. But it's just like, that isn't a name you hear every day. And if you don't know who she is, she has an amazing song called Hopeless that is on the Love Jones soundtrack. Love that song. I ain't even going to try to sing for you. Hopeless, yeah, 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 yeah. I love that song too. It's just, honest, like, side note, sorry, but the Love Jones soundtrack within itself, amazing. Like, Love Jones itself is a terrible movie, but that is where my love of poetry started. But the film itself, terrible. But created my love of poetry and had a great soundtrack. So I'll take those two things over the terrible movie. And she says, her mom did not want her to get into music. She wanted her to go to school and get a degree. It says basically like, leave the music alone. But Young Baby Tate says her mom has 1 Grammy and she's trying to get 2. So we gonna keep it moving over here. So we have Bambi, Erica, and Sierra all meeting up, and Bambi is pregnant with baby number 3. There was another show that they did together, and she said she was basically drinking the whole trip, and she knows that she got pregnant on that trip. And it's just like, okay, congratulations, that's really all I got. And so when Erica comes in, they show the video of the wedding that her and Safari had, and it's only a year. They've only been married a year, and they already going through major things already. But she says, most days it feels like he doesn't want to be bothered with us, and us being hurt, like herself and their daughter, because I know he's not doing nothing for her oldest son, because that's not his kid. And she says, it just feels like when stuff got real, he wanted out. And I'm like, I don't get why you pursue somebody, basically hound them into being with you, and then she gives you a chance, she actually marries you, she gives you a baby, and when stuff gets real, you ready to bounce? Like, I don't get Safari. Like, the only other time, like, I really paid attention to him, because really I give him credit for that one scene. Was it Love and Hip Hop Miami? I don't know. It was just like a bunch of foolishness going on around, and he was sitting there like stuffing food into his mouth. I said, me and Safari see each other. And because, like, what else? You old girl's ex-boyfriend / fiance, then you got on Love and Hip Hop, then you was with the other Nikki, and now you with Erica Mena. Because your rap career ain't going nowhere, so it's just like, do you plan on being a child forever? Anyway, so, and Bambi says that her and Scrappy haven't been talking either. Basically, like, she's been telling him, like, I need help with this and this and this, because with her being pregnant, the doctor said she's not supposed to do any lifting, like, nothing. Like, basically just sit there and be pregnant. But he tells her, it seems like he treats her as if she don't need no help. Like, she got it, you good, you don't need me to help you do nothing. So while Bambi and Erica, getting all this stuff off of their chest, Sierra interjects with, when I said I love y'all, I said that to y'all husbands too. So while y'all my sisters, they my brothers. And Bambi was immediately like, no ma'am, that's not how this goes, pick a side. And I'm just like, Sierra, first of all, y'all don't know each other that well to be saying y'all love each other. And second of all, what? Like, girl, what? Do you hear what they saying? Like, what these men are doing to them. And you talking about them your brothers too. I said, okay. So right then and there, if I was Erica or Bambi, I'd have been looking at her like, okay. It would have been the end of the conversation. I'm like, yeah, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. I won't be telling you anything else. Thanks. But Sierra does tell Erica to keep their problems off social media. And there was something about Safari saying, I'm gonna put it right here, Safari saying that, like, this was his biggest regret, and then her saying that she doesn't put her problems on social media. And I'm like, now Erica, like, girl, we follow, well, I don't follow you, but I see it, let me put it that way, because I'll see somebody done screenshot the shade room, or screenshot her stories, her post, like, I'm bound to see it. And it's like, girl, what happened to when you, like, smashed all the roses and all that type of stuff, and the drama that just happened this past weekend on his birthday? It's like, girl, all you do is run to social media. So don't, like, I applaud you for growing up from what you used to do, but come on now, don't act like that. And so we have Rashida and Kirk who, like, why are y'all still here? Truly. Like, why are y'all still here? But anyway, they claim that they're trying to get back to them, like their marriage, focusing on each other and spending some quality time together. And the little baby Carter, who he's so big now, but he first opens the door, says his PlayStation ain't working. They send him on about his way. But then he comes back like a few minutes later after they other kids is calling, and they're like, you know, that's probably something to do with the bistro. And I forgot they had opened the bistro. I'm like, the last thing I remember, Rashida had her store, which first was her, like, basically having all that stuff inside her house, and she moved it to a storefront. I forgot all about the bistro, to be honest. But that little boy comes back and says that he wants to sleep with them. Now, I called him a little boy, but he big enough to sleep in his own room. Ain't no way he would have climbed in that bed with me and my husband, or me and my partner. Like, no, you want to sleep where? Because what? Boogeyman. I'm like, first of all, you look too old to still be believing in boogeymen and stuff like that. But I ain't gonna judge the little boy. So now we have Sierra. Sierra's starting to put me in the place of Aubrey O'Day, like surgery. Make this whatever you make it the last time you go under the knife, please. Them lips are sticking out to here. Her face is pinched, and that hair stuff. Like, sis, why is it combed over this way? Like, I don't get it. I'm trying to understand. I was like, it's cute. Like, it got body, it's bouncy. But it's like, your part is literally starting right over here. And it's like combed over this way. And throughout the whole scene, she constantly moving. I'm like, girl, like, I want to tug the shit and straighten it out for her. Because it's just like, where the wig how it's supposed to be? If you want a deep part like that, get a wig that allows you to part it that way. I feel like that's a straight down the middle wig that you done cocked to the side and you look a fool. But anyway, she inside this jewelry store trying to get her engagement ring from BK appraised and see how much it's worth. And this is something I didn't even know. Because I'm like, honestly, I don't even watch Love and Hip Hop. I watch Bondi Blues reviews. So it's like I'm up to date on what's going on. But I don't, like, watch the show myself. But I figured I'd start watching it. Because, you know, I want to be more active on my channel. So I was like, this is a drama-filled show that I'm pretty sure it'll be good to watch. But they got engaged 3 months ago, and a week after the engagement she broke it off because she knew it wasn't right. So basically she said yes to save him the embarrassment of proposing in front of a lot. That's why I say do not propose. Me personally, let me speak for me, do not propose in front of a large group, because or that needs to be a conversation we have beforehand. It's like, are you thinking about marriage? You think we ready for that? Like, how you feeling before you propose in front of a big group? And she been saying, you know, she didn't feel that way about him. She had fallen out of love with him a long time ago. And I'm just like, and this was the thing, because she said it herself, like, they got together when she was basically at a low point. He was really a rebound that lasted too long. Because when she got, what's that man's name? When she got divorced from her Shooter is his name. When she got divorced from Shooter, she immediately started dating BK. And now that her and BK have broke up, she has immediately started dating a guy named Eric. And it's just like, you don't know how to be by yourself? Like, you leave one relationship immediately getting in with somebody else. Because it's like, if the engagement was 3 months ago, you broke it off that weekend, and you say that you've been dating this new guy for 2 months. So that leaves, what, like a month of space, which I don't even believe it was that long. Like, you really you don't give yourself time to heal before you jumping into something else. And it seemed like, because I ain't trying to judge nobody, but you seem like the person that you don't know how to be by yourself, and then you wondering why your relationships ain't working out. Do you even know who you are, Sierra? But, you know, hey, whatever. So Yandy goes on to Jock radio show to spread awareness about the fact that she's going to Kentucky for this rally. It's a peaceful protest, but, you know, it's just like we still haven't gotten justice, and this is what we're going to do. So Jock pledges, or, you know, promises to come along as well, and he's going to be there. And I didn't know that Jacques had a club. Did I know that? That was probably one of the seasons, like he was opening up a club or something like that. Because Yandy makes them, like she mentions seeing him outside of a place, and somebody had to tell her, like, yeah, that's his club. And she was like, you know, it was jumping in there. So I was like, yeah, Safari, Lord have mercy. Jacques, like, he got a few hustles going on. So Safari is at home, and he made a video of finding their wedding pictures in the trash. And he's like, I wonder who would do that. So he's working out with Scrappy, and, you know, he's telling him about his problems. Like, you know, I'm tired of fighting. And he says, I didn't know having a kid would be that much work. I'm like, Safari, what did you think? Like, your family members didn't sit down and talk to you. You ain't got nobody, like, you ain't around no kids or nothing. Like, what do you think kids are? Just something cute to pick? Like, what was that? A Scary Movie where they did a parody of Save the Last Dance, where it's like, I'm here to see my kid. You literally pick them up, put them back down, and you think you can go on about your way? Like, make it make sense, sir. What do you mean you didn't know the kids were? What, you thought you was gonna have a nanny and that you? I'm so confused, because I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know that it was going to be this much work? It's your child. You have to feed them, change them, spend time with them. They're going to holler, they're going to scream, and there's nothing you can do but sit there with that child and try to soothe. Like, what do you mean you didn't know that it would be this much work? It's not a dog. It's not, well, actually, dogs seem like it's... What do you mean you didn't know that it was that much work? This is what I mean when I say Safari is a man child. Like, it makes no sense when he says things, because it's just like, sir, grow up. And so young baby Tate she's headlining South by Southwest, and, you know, she's going to do her performance. It's a virtual performance, but it's like inside of this like warehouse or something like that, but they got it set up real nice. It looks real good. And she says, you know, I want to be an inspiration to, I believe it's like specifically for women, like when they put on that feel good anthem and it's like, I feel good about myself, I'm ready to party, I want them to throw on my music. And I'm like, I love that for her. Please do that. So Sierra has been, when she was in the jewelry store, she said, you know, I still check his social media just to see how he's doing and what's going on with him. And I guess he's been all over social media, like, bashing her, saying, you know, as soon as you broke off the engagement with me, you was right with somebody else. So tell the truth, you was really cheating on me as well, while you just trying to make me out to be a bad guy. So she says she's going to his store to give him closure. She doesn't need closure. I guess he's the only one that needs the closure, and she's good. It's just like, okay. I don't get, and it's like when she walked in, this outfit that she has on, I don't know if it's supposed to make him miss what he had or whatever, because it's like she got this bustier on, these little bitty shorts, these leg things, because it's like they not leg. I don't get the outfit. And then it's like her hair, that same wig, I think that she finally righted the part, and it's like she got some curls in, but she got a pin. It's like, where are you going? What was the thought process in this outfit? I don't think there was one. Which leads to an argument with them, because she's just like, you know, I thought that you were good. Like, basically, like, leave me alone. Don't bring up my man. Just, I'm here to let you know to let it go. It was woman after woman after woman. You constantly cheated. He's like, you cheated on me too, so what's up? She's like, never. And it's just like, basically, you just came in here with this little outfit on to try to make him jealous, to start this argument just so you could walk out. Because that's what she does. She walks out like, I guess he don't want to let it go. It's like, you knew that before you came up in here, though. It's like, if he was doing all that on the internet, what you thought you seeing him face to face was gonna do? That he was just gonna calm down, like, ooh, I finally got her to talk to me, so I ain't gonna say nothing crazy, and I ain't gonna speak on how I feel. Like, what are you talking about? Sierra confuses me. So we have Erica and Safari. They sit down to talk, and Erica tells him, like, you know, she's been feeling neglected, that he's not there, that he basically doesn't help out. It feels like he don't want to be around them. And he brings up the pictures. He's like, you know, I found the pictures in the trash can. Like, what do you think? How do you think I'm gonna feel? And she's like, but you said I was your biggest regret, so why do you care about these pictures? I figured you didn't want them, and it hurt my heart to see them, so let's throw them out. Which I don't agree with, because it's like, nigga, you can feel however you want to. If that wasn't meant something to me, I'm going to keep my stuff. But it's just, as soon as he said that, I honestly felt like, me personally, because I can't speak for her, but this Erica, that's your biggest regret? You ain't even got to worry about it, baby. I'm out of here. But and when he brings up the pictures, she brings up social media, like I said, and he's like, Twitter ain't real. I'm like, nigga, that statement was put out for everybody to see. What you mean it's not real? Like, Safari, are all the lights on, sir? Like, what are you talking about? It ain't real. It's like, so did you mean, so you didn't mean that when you said is what you saying? Like, it's not real, so you didn't mean what you actually said. But I really feel like he just gaslighting her to basically get her to be quiet. And he says that she's not the person that he first got with. It's like, of course not. We're married now. We have a child now. I'm not gonna be the same, like, rah get rowdy, have fun type of person, because we got real responsibilities now. But like, he's a man child. He not gonna get that. It's not clicking for him. And she makes it. She's like, I feel like you don't want to do life with me. And he, like, you can hear her getting choked up and automatic. He's like, you're so dramatic. But it's like, you said you regret marrying me. You said I'm not fun like I'm like I was when we first started. So it's just like, I get her statement. Like, she wasn't wrong in what she said. Like, it feels like you don't want to do this with me, and we made a lifelong commitment. And it's like, only in the first year things are like starting off rocky. You are ready to bolt out the door. You are ready to bolt out the door. Make it make sense. But he calls her dramatic and tells her that she needs to talk to someone, basically saying she needs to get a therapist and work out her issues. And she says, so what about you? I'm fine. I'm like, what? You fine? And I was like, you know what? If you feel that, perfect. It's all good. And she's like, you don't know how to do real life. You think every day is supposed to be like a rap video and what you see on TV, and it's not like that. And he's like, get up. That's what he's talking. He told her to get over it. She's like, that's it? That's how you feel? That's all you got to say? He's like, yeah, get over it. Do what you got to do, but get over it. And so, like, I applaud her for being different than how she used to be. And I kind of feel like it's because their daughter is actually there, like, in the house. And even though they're recording for TV, I feel like she didn't want to, like, pop off how she really wanted to. Because when I tell you, what was they, by the kitchen? I'd have grabbed a knife. I would have been beaking him upside his head, because she ain't got on no long nails or nothing. I'd have been punching the shit out of Safari. Like, ain't no way you finna talk to me this way. No way. And so she says, you can tell she looking at production. She said, are we done? And I'm pretty sure they told her yeah, because she got up and she was like pulling at the. She said, get this off of me. And you can hear her slam the door. And he said, that's all she does is slam door. Like, living with somebody like you and figuring out now that this is the way you think, which I don't see how she couldn't get that from the get-go. Because Safari, like, he's never serious. The nigga used to walk around with meat coats on and no shirt in hot-ass weather. Anyway. But she takes off the microphone and she's just like, that last time she gently closes the door. And you could tell, like, she is really hurt. And it's messing me up, because it's like, I never thought I'd be on Erica Mena's side, because any other time that bitch is dead wrong. But no, in this, Safari on some bullshit, and I hope they can get it together, because even with the stuff that's in the news now, it's just like, they really going through something. But I hope they can get it together. Anyway, that's episode 1 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 10, and I hope to see you guys in my next review.